Hello all and welcome to our session on spoken English. This is an introductory session to our spoken English module, and I promise you that it is one of the most unique lessons that you'll ever have. So in this session, we are going to start from the very beginning. We're going to start understanding language. Let us understand what language is actually about, and then we are going to delve into the techniques and theory of learning English as well. So let us ask ourselves the question, why? Why do we need to learn English, or why do we need to learn any other language? We need to know what actually motivates you to learn English or any other language. Do you want to travel more? Do you want to be better at your work? If you wish to undertake this exercise on your own, you can write down a 200-word paragraph in your notebook answering the question, why do you wish to learn English? You can pause the video and write it down in your notebook if you wish to. If you enroll for our classes, we'll help you go deeper into the reasons so that your motivation stays intact. Now, human beings need language to communicate and to interact with the world around, and that is essentially why we learn a language, why we learn any new language to communicate in, because people speak that language, people interact with the world using that language. Hence, we make meaning out of things around us using language. For example, if I need to refer to a pen, I'll call it a pen, and pen is a linguistic unit. So, meaning is a formative unit of language. Human beings essentially need language to make meanings and to convey meanings. Meanings are the formative unit of language. People essentially learn new things and learn new concepts, linguistic concepts and other concepts, by making meaning out of it. And hence, the takeaway is that we also learn language through meaning making. Now let us think about how our meanings formed. There are three things involved in the formation of meanings. First is context, second is creation, and third is association. Let us understand each of these concepts in detail. Context is a situation is a situation in which a given speech is relevant. It answers the question where, what, how. How do you want to use English in your day-to-day life? Do you want to use it for your business communication? Do you want to use it for informal interactions? Do you want to use it to write better emails? What do you want to use it for? And so introduction to any new language is also an introduction to a whole new world of contexts. By learning a new language, by default, we are introduced to a new set of ideas. So when we there's something called context training, which we practice in our personalized training classes. Context training is essential to understand what is to be spoken or written in a formal or an informal situation. So that is an essential part of our spoken English courses, if you enroll in them. So, introduction to a new language also means introduction to its unique context of origin and usage, and that is why any given language, be it Hindi or Malayalam or Telugu or English, it has a world of its own, because as we can see, each language has a rich literature, and those literature are produced by people who spoken that language before us, right? So they inhabit their own world, and what we're trying to do is we're trying to connect with them by using their forms of speech, their forms of utterances. So language definitely helps us connect to the world around and helps us connect to people around. So our approach is that learning a new language requires us to take a deep dive into the world of contexts. That is, apart from looking at language usage on a daily basis, apart from learning the language on a daily basis, we learn through history, through stories and the music produced in that particular tongue. Also, now let's move on to creation. Language is a creative activity. We use language creatively by forming new sentences for every new situation. Now let's think about it. Let's think about a language that you already know. When you step out of your house, do you think about it? Do you mull over everything that you're going to say to everyone in a given day? No, you do not make a record of everything that you're going to say to everyone, because you are trusting yourself that you have the linguistic capability to create new sentences for every situation. Hence, language learning also has to be a creative activity. We need to innovate and we need to be creative when we are learning a new language. Then let's jump on to one of the most important aspects of language learning, which is associations and association making. Simply speaking, association is a connection between two or more things. Association making is a very powerful tool for human learning. In fact, human brain stores linguistic and other kinds of information by making associations. Association helps us connect to the world. I will give you a simple example of association. For example, when your kindergarten teacher taught you alphabet A, he taught you by saying O. A stands for like A for apple, and you immediately recall the image of apple in your mind. So you associated A with apple, and then the word apple with the actual fruit in the outside world. So meaning making is a game of associations. It is also a creative activity, and hence language learning is a creative process. So all of this, what does all of this lead to? All the context building, association making, and creative use of language is used to achieve one goal. The learner finds it easier to own up to the language. I'm going to repeat this because this is very important. The learner finds it easier to own the language. Ownership of language is very important if you wish to speak in the language fluently. In my class, in our personalized sessions, we have a comprehensive approach towards finding out for each student what exactly inhibits them from using the language as if it's their own mother tongue. Now let us understand a little bit more about ownership of language. What is it to own a language? If you own a language properly, what does it mean? First, it means that you speak fluently in it without thinking if you're getting it right or wrong. Second, it is to be comfortable in it. And third, it is to be creative in it, right? So now let us think about what language you actually own. So the answer is very simple, right? The language that you actually know and the language that you've actually been speaking since the time that you were able to speak or you were able to communicate is a language you own. Most probably it's your mother tongue. So let us remember how we learned our mother tongue. We learned our mother tongue by absorbing the language, and we learned by listening to people and imitating them. We made mistakes and we didn't shy away from being corrected. So it was a constant trial and error. Remember that we owned our first language this way. Now, what were the techniques that we used to learn our mother tongue? First was the absorption of vocabulary, associations and meanings. Someone actually taught it to us, or we observed it in our environment, and then we observed that if there's a glass of milk, the word milk has an association with the object that is outside of us, in the outside world. So that object is to be referred as milk, and that object is to be referred as mama, or that object is to be referred as papa. Secondly, we repeated. There were several repetitions. We didn't learn any kind of linguistic knowledge in one go. We had several chances. We made several repetitions. Someone repeated those words to us again and again and again. Repetition is very important when it comes to language learning. And third is constant trial and error. We made mistakes and we were corrected while making those mistakes. So we shouldn't shy away from making mistakes, and we shouldn't be embarrassed when someone corrects us if we make those mistakes, if we wish to learn any new language. Well, thank you so much for watching this video, and the takeaway of the entire thing is that we learn language playfully. We infuse the process of learning language with joy and fun, with loads of activities that that involves whole of our energies. So if you'd like to join us, let us know, and I hope that the content of this video was useful. So thank you for watching us, and happy learning. Bye bye.